In this video, I'm going to be explaining how to use the Asana project management tool for your business. I'll be going over how to create teams, how to manage projects, and keep on top of your tasks, all within the Asana system. Welcome to the channel. My name is Nick. Thank you ever so much for giving this video a watch. Hopefully it will be of value to you. Just before we get into the video, if you are signing up to Asana for the first time, please, it would be greatly appreciated if you could use the link below. It really helps the channel out. So without further ado, let's get straight into the training video. So if you're signing up to Asana for the first time, you're going to want to go over to their website. Now, as you can see, I am on the Asana website. There is a link in the description. Feel free to click that. It will take you straight there. We are going to be going over the pricing first. I'll quickly introduce the pricing. We've got basic, premium, and business. Now in this video, I'm just going to be discussing the basic version. However, there are a lot of really powerful features in the premium version. So I do recommend maybe giving the basic version a go, just testing the waters, seeing if you like the system, and then moving over to premium to unlock a number of additional features that, like I said, make this system really powerful. Now, if you've not got an account already, you just need to go ahead up to the top right hand corner and press get started. Here you will need to fill in your email address. So I'm going to go ahead and do that. nick@crmcrew.co.uk. And then you go ahead and press the sign up button. Now I already have an account, but if you go ahead, click sign up, it will ask you a number of different questions and then you'll be presented with the home screen like you can see now. So now you've logged in, this is the first screen you're going to be presented with. This is the home screen, okay? We've got priorities, which are essentially tasks. We've got projects and we've got people. Now I'm going to be coming on to all of this throughout the video. But firstly, let me explain how Asana works. So as you can see on the left-hand side here, we have got a teams breakdown. And in the example, and I believe when you signed up, you will have had to create a team. Now, Asana is broken down into different teams, and based in those teams, we have different projects. So we'll have a marketing team, for example, and in the marketing team, we'll have a number of different projects. You might have your campaigns, you might have your website adjustments, all sorts of different projects. But the way Asana works is it uses teams to break down how the system works. So there's like levels to the system, okay? So we've got teams on the left-hand side. We can go ahead and create a new team if we would like to. Go ahead and press the add team button. So we have marketing, maybe let's call this one sales. We've got a sales team. We can add a description if we would like to. This is a sales team, obviously. And then we can add members. So we can either search by name if they're an existing member inside of the Asana system, or alternatively, we can go ahead and just enter in their email address and it will send them a request via email and they can use that link that they'll be sent and they can sign in and they'll get access to that particular team. So we also have different types of privacy options. Now we have membership by request as part of the free version of Asana. So a member has to request to join this team. However, if you are on the paid version like I discussed at the start of this video, we've got private where a member must be invited to join this team, and public to the organization. So anyone who is a part of the Asana system can join or be a part of this team. So those are two useful options, but obviously we only have the one for this video. So I'm going to go ahead and press the create team button. There we have it. We've now created a new team. No projects exist. We can go ahead and add members at a later date if we would like to. We can press add member. But now I want to go ahead and create a new project for our team. So as you can see, we've got the division, we've got the marketing and the sales. Let's now go ahead and press create a project. Now, we can create a blank project. I'm firstly going to introduce you to templates. So if you press use a template, you will be presented with this screen. Now you may be wondering, well, where exactly are all of the templates? What this is showing you is my domain, my email domains templates. So crmcrew.co.uk. Now that actually means you can save templates based on projects that you've built in the past to your account, and then you can reuse them over and over again. And I will show you how to do that later on in this video. But if you use the drop down menu and just go to all types, Asana has very kindly provided us with some different templates that we can go ahead and utilize, especially if you're new to the system. It's always a lot easier to just use an existing template, and then you can modify and learn and understand a little bit more about how the system works once you've got an understanding of what is possible within the system. So you can go ahead and do that if you would like to. Alternatively, I'm just going to press the back button. I'm going to go ahead and press blank project. We need to give our project a name. So in the example for this video, what could we be doing? Let's say we're building a click funnel. So this is a click funnel for our Facebook ads, and we need to build and redesign. We're going to assign it to the marketing team, and it's going to be public to the entire team, or we can make it private to me, so it's just yourself that sees it. Or alternatively, if you're on the paid version, you can make it private to project members. So that means that even if they're part of the marketing team, they would still have to be invited to this particular project. So not everyone in the marketing team can use it. It's entirely up to you. Now we've got default view, list, board, and calendar. Timeline's part of the paid version, unfortunately. You can change this at any date, so don't worry too much about these three. We can switch it up whenever we would like to. So let's go ahead and just use the list option, press continue, and then we can either start adding tasks, share it with teammates. So we'll just go dive in and start adding tasks straight away. So let's go to project, and this is the new project that we've created. Now you see on the left hand side under the marketing team, we've now got our first project. So congratulations, we've got our first project up and running. Now we can firstly add sections to our project. So maybe in progress, just as an example for this video, in progress, completed, maybe we'll have a not possible, just hypothetically speaking. And then we can go ahead and add tasks. So we've added the sections, and then we add a task. So what could we possibly need to do with our ClickFunnels? Maybe change the text, ClickFunnels text. There we go. So we've created a task. What we then want to do is drag it into our different section. So you can drag it to in progress, or we could then drag it to completed, and then we could drag it to not possible. So you can move it around the different sections. It's very, very useful. Now, if you see on the right hand side here, we have got assignee and due date. So this is where Asana becomes really, really powerful, is we can assign tasks to users of the system. So if you click assign, you will see a list of all the users inside of the system, or at least inside of the marketing department. And then you can go ahead and click on that particular person, and they've now been assigned that task. So Nick Boardman now needs to change the ClickFunnels text. Cool. Then we can also set a date. So we can go ahead and say, okay, this needs to be done by Friday next week. And then it will say Friday 15th of the 7th, 2022, or you can change it to 29th, whenever it needs to be done. And that will adjust accordingly. And I'll show you where people will be able to see that later on in this video. So it's very, very helpful. Now, not only can we just manage a task like this, change the ClickFunnels text, if we hover over that particular task and press details, we get a large list of different options. We can add a description to the task, which is of course very, very helpful. We need to go into further detail about what is going on. I'm sure a lot of the time when you're creating and assigning tasks, you're going to need to change the ClickFunnels text. Is a little bit basic. People might be a little bit confused about what needs to be done. You can also add subtasks. So in order to change the ClickFunnels text, we need to do this and this and this. And then once all of these three subtasks have been completed, then we can tick off the change the ClickFunnels text as a task. It's been completed. Now, one additional thing we can do is we can ask questions and post updates. So we can actually have a stream of communication with anyone else that's involved in this particular task. And we can literally like at people. So we could say at Nick Boardman or at someone else in the Asana system, what is going on, or what's the situation with this, or do you need any help with this, or if you have a question, you can at someone. You can also just write updates. I have started changing the text, and then if you do at, and then you can mention a teammate, link a task, project, or message. It's very, very clever. We can also attach a file. We've got appreciations, which is these trophy things, interesting if you want to use them. And we've got emojis. we've obviously got the app mention. We can record a video. Now, I've not actually done this myself. Feel free to experiment if you'd like to. And then we've got formatting as well. So obviously bold, italic, underline, etc., etc. And then I can go ahead and comment, and I've just commented on that particular task. So if I go back to it, you will see that there's a comment, there's 3 subtasks. If you use the drop down arrow, you'll see those subtasks as well. So it's really, really powerful system for keeping on top of your work, making sure everything is completed. So one additional thing we can do with our tasks is we can also tag them. Now, Asana seems to want to hide the tags feature for one reason or another. But if we go to the 3 dotted button up the top here and go to add tags, we can literally go ahead and create our own tags and then tag that particular task. So tag 1, we can go ahead and create tag 2, create a tag, and then you can assign it a different color if you would like to. So let's go for a nice pink. And this again is just a really, really helpful way of managing your task, keeping everything in order, seeing what's tagged. So you could have a tag that says important, and you know that this is a really important task that needs to be done, and you would prioritize that over something that's less important. So utilize tags 100%. Up the top here, we've got this like feature. We can again attach files. We've got the subtask I've spoken about. We can copy a task link, so you can go ahead and copy it and then maybe send it into a Slack channel, and then someone could pick it up and just say, oh, I need to do that. Okay, that's fine. Then we've got the 3 dotted button. We can full screen the page. We can add to another project. We haven't got these features, unfortunately. I've just discussed adding tags. We can duplicate a task if we would like to. We can convert it to a subtask or a project. We can create follow-up tasks, and we can print and merge duplicate tasks as well. And then finally, we can delete a task as well. So hopefully you're familiar with tasks. You can go ahead using the drop-down menu, just press the add to your different sections. You can use sections for anything. Once you're happy, you can tick that task as completed, and it grays out, and obviously that is a completed task, or you can untick it if you still need to do it. Now, that is the list view. Now, up the top here, we've got a few different view options. We've also got the board view. Now, this is very similar to a Kanban view. In case you're not aware, I absolutely love the Kanban view. Essentially, this allows us to drag and drop our tasks to different sections, and you could arguably call them stages. So it's kind of like almost like a process. So you drag from one stage to the next very, very easily. If you've got a long-winded process that you need to manage, then this is a great way to do it. And obviously, as you go, you can tick off the tasks as well. You can see the tags that are associated with it. If you press the 3 dotted button, you can edit the task name. You can add a cover image if you want. You can view the details, which is the tags, the description, the subtasks as well. So you can all manage it from the board area. It's just a different view, and I'm a big fan of that. So moving on from the board view, we have the timeline view. Unfortunately, we do not have access to that as part of the free version. If you move into the next view, which is the calendar view, this is a very, very helpful view that allows us to see all of our tasks in a calendar format. As you can see here, we've got a few options we can jump to today. We've got a color default, and we can turn the weekends on or off. So you can see here that my task that we created earlier, that is due to be completed on a Saturday. We can go ahead and drag it to a different date if we would like to, and then turn weekends off, and you'll be able to see it just like that. So it's really, really helpful. And then obviously we can hover over it and we can tick it as completed as and when it's completed. But this is essentially showing you the due date, and if you drag and drop it to a different date, it updates the due date of that particular task. So using a calendar, I'm sure this is unbelievably powerful for everyone involved. If you want to get really, really complex, or I suppose it's not that complex, if you want to get really, really useful, you can integrate your Asana calendar with your Google Calendar. So if you're going on your Google Calendar or any of your calendars, you'll be able to see all your Asana tasks on one calendar, which just gets even more useful, streamlines your work processes as well. We've got the 3 dotted button up the top here where you can save the layout as default. You can search for a project if you need to. And if you press the customize button, you've got a few different options here where you can see the assignee, the due date. You can see the projects. You've got show one more field. Like I said, Asana likes to hide the tags option for some reason. And then you've got a few different paid options where if you're on the paid version, you can add forms and things like that. But that's the calendar view. We again don't have access to workflow, nor do we have access to the dashboard, but we have messages and files. So messages is where we can send a message to members inside of the system. So we can send a message to your teammates. It's literally like a means of communication, like we discussed when we went on the details of that particular task earlier in the video. And then we got files as well. So if you add any attachments to tasks or messages, it will appear here for this particular project. If we just go back to the list view, we've got a few filter options. We can search by incomplete tasks, completed tasks, and all tasks. We've got filter options as well. So it shows just my tasks, any tasks due this week, and any tasks due next week. And then we can sort as well. So sort by due date, assignee, etc., etc. We've got the 3 dotted button again, where we can save layout as default and search the project. Got search options up the top here. You can go ahead and search for anything you need to. We can go ahead and favorite this particular project if we would like to, and that will create a favorites area, and that just makes it a lot easier to jump to the projects that we are actively working on. And then if we use this drop down arrow here, we've got project actions. We can edit project details. We can change the color and icon of the project. So let's say target, and let's go for a nice red. And then you can see that will change on the left hand side. Obviously color is always a good indicator. The brain picks up on color, and then you know exactly which project you need to head over to. And we've got a few different options. We can send a copy project link and then send it to a Slack channel, for example. Save layout as default. Now that is what I spoke about when we created our project under the crmcrew.co.uk domain name. If you press save as default or save layout as default, you'll be able to go ahead and reuse it. We can go ahead and duplicate our projects. We can import, export, move to another team, and we can archive and delete as well. So that is more or less everything for projects. I know I've gone over a fair bit. If you go to the overview, you'll see all of the project team members, the key resources, links and files. I know I've gone over a fair bit for projects, but I thought I wanted to cover absolutely everything. Moving on from the projects area, obviously we can have a number of different projects across all of the different teams. We then have tasks. So if we go to my tasks, this is just essentially the same layout and same format as a project, but as opposed to showing you every single task, it's just going to show you all the tasks that you've been assigned. So you can see here we've got change click funnel text and change the click funnel text. And those are two different tasks that I've created as examples for this particular video. And we are assigned both of these, so we can go ahead and tick one off, mark it's completed, we get that cool animation, and that is off my tasks list. Now at the top, we then got the board view. We've also got the calendar view, and we've got the files view as well. So like we've already discussed in this video, the board view is a little bit different. It will show you all your tasks due today, to do next week, do later, and anything that's also been recently assigned as well. So the My Tasks is where you're going to spend a lot of your time, to be quite honest with you. This is where people within your business or organization, whatever it is, are going to assign your tasks. You go to the My Tasks area and you make sure that you are completing your tasks on the daily basis, keeping on top of all of your work. If that is possible, you're trying your hardest anyway. Moving on from My Tasks, we have the inbox. This is where we can go ahead and send messages and kind of communicate with our team through Asana. So if you go ahead and press send message, you can go ahead and send it to Nick Boardman or another member of the organization. And then you can go ahead and communicate whatever you need to. So you send them a message and then you'll see that in your inbox, or the other person will see it in their inbox, vice versa, etc., etc. I'm sure that makes perfect sense. How much you choose to use this, I'm not too sure. One thing I'd probably do if I was using Asana is integrate with Slack. I use Slack. I'm a massive fan of it. So if I can integrate Asana with Slack and communicate using my tasks as like a link and obviously communicate that way, that would personally be my preference. That is probably a premium version, but it's definitely worth looking into if you're going down the Asana route. We don't have access to reporting, portfolios, or goals unless you're on the paid version. And then if we just go to the home page again, it will show you my priorities, completed task by week, and we've got projects as well. So you can see all the projects that we've got going on and the people. Hopefully this video has been of value to you. You are now familiar with Asana. You understand the system. You understand how it works. You can go ahead and create your teams, breaking them down into the different departments, etc. And you can manage all your projects for your different teams as well to make sure all of those tasks are being completed. And I think the great thing about Asana is the way you can view you've got a number of different view options, should I say. So you've got the list view, the board view, the calendar view. It just makes managing your tasks so much easier. And then the most important part, in my opinion anyway, is the My Tasks area, where we will go ahead and manage my tasks. So hopefully this video has been of value, and I will see you in a moment's time. Hopefully you are now all set to begin using Asana for your business. You know what teams are, you know what projects are, you know how to manage your projects and manage your tasks and assign tasks to different people, all within the Asana system. If you have enjoyed the video or found it at all useful, please consider giving it a like, possibly even subscribing. If you have any further questions, you are more than welcome to drop a comment below, and I will do my absolute best to answer any questions you do have. Thank you ever so much for watching, and I will hopefully see you shortly in the next video. Thank you and goodbye.